Hey guys, Maniac here, and I'm here with Maniac Reviews, and today for Maniac Reviews, I'm going to be reviewing Breaking Bad. Today we must look for the final episode. Why? Alright, so Breaking Bad. First thing I want to mention, I'm going to be reviewing, like, the final episode / few episodes behind it. I'm going to make sure to try to make this as spoiler-free as possible. But, warning to some of you, this may or may not contain spoilers. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go on to characters. We have good old Jesse Pinkman. We have good old Walt. We have good old Hank. I don't know why I'm saying it that way. And then Saul, I guess you could count in. And we're just gonna say that for now. I mostly want to say Hank and his wife, Skylar. And what? Hank's wife. I don't really hear her name a lot, it feels like. So I don't remember it that much. But when you get yeah. Anyways, storyline. Breaking Bad, if you're watching this, you would know what the storyline is, I'm guessing. This is such a good show. Basically, the storyline, for those of you who don't know, is Walter White is this chemistry teacher who starts to cook meth with a man named Jesse Pinkman, whose brother-in-law, Hank, is a police officer, which gets into some of the later seasons, but, yeah, he basically cooks meth and builds an empire off of that, and, that's where we get into this season, where he finishes it all with his cancer and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go on to negatives and positives. I'm gonna start off with negatives, because with this show, there are no negatives. For the season finale, though, I will give you one. There was one thing that happened that was just like, but what happens to, what? This is, no, hang clipper thing. Yeah, it kind of ended off with a cliffhanger, and I don't want to spoil it since I literally just watched that about 5 minutes ago, got the camera set up, did the intro, and now I'm doing the review. Like, I literally just finished watching that, so it's still pretty brand new. Anyways, though, so yeah, there was like the kind of cliffhanger. For me, it's a cliffhanger because I'm like, well, what's gonna happen to him? What happens to him? Like, it's just kind of like, but what happens to them? Now, there is talk of there being a spin-off or something. I've been hearing and reading rumors about all over the interwebs. If any of those are true, I could see why they ended it the way that they did. But if none of them are true, then there's a very small gap that leaves you wondering what the hell happens with this character. I'm not going to mention because then it spoils what kind of happened. But yeah, let's go on to positives. Positives. There's absolutely no padding in this TV show. Every episode matters in some way. I always mention this when I'm reviewing a TV show. With TV shows, you will always get those parts where, those episodes where in a season where they need to fill the season with something, and then at the very end you get like 5 minutes that has to do with the main storyline. And this show didn't have that. And that's what made it such a good show, is that every part mattered, everything put you on the edge of your seat, and yeah. Let's see, next thing, so padding, the way kind of the story goes, like, if you look, as I was watching the series final, I kept thinking back to season 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just thinking, like, he started out as some random teacher who started out cooking meth with Jesse and everything. He went to having cancer and everything, to then building this giant empire where you have hitmen, you have meth, you have all this different stuff, and it's just cool watching the ending and then thinking, like, you know, kind of, and then the ending of it was very kind of cheesy old song in the background, and then the ending is just kind of like a bit of a montage, how you say, I actually can't remember the word I'm trying to think of, ending. But it's very kind of just, you know, shout out to the old days, back in the days when there wasn't a giant empire, when you didn't have to deal with hitmen, when you didn't have to deal with police and stuff, and you were some guy working out in the desert making meth. So yeah, it was really, I can't say anything. This show was such a good drama. Now, I'm not a big drama guy. I like my action. I have the few dramas that I like, and it's mostly kind of like, for me, it's action and stuff. No, and the other thing that I really like about this show is it kind of has that Death Note feel to it. And if you guys don't know what Death Note is, it's basically this Japanese anime about this man who one day finds this notebook that he can kill people with, but with it comes this thing called a Shiogami, which is a god of death. And basically he goes on this killing spree, becomes this mass villain, and you get this whole psychological thing going on, and it's flipping crazy. And this show reminds me of, take Death Note and instead of murder, twist it into meth, almost, into drug dealing. And Death Note as an anime is probably for sure in the top 3 animes, if not the best anime there is. In my opinion, I do watch some anime, not that much. My favorite is probably been Gurren Lagann. I loved that show mostly because it was giant robots fighting against each other's. Yeah. And then it was probably Death Note. Death Note's first or second, I don't know. They're both very good animes. Anyways, this isn't anime, this is Breaking Bad. But this show, just, the acting's excellent. Everything in this show, there's nothing to complain of. At the end of every episode, you're either left wondering what the hell's gonna happen next episode, which wants to bring you back, or next season, depending where you're looking at it, or you're left satisfied. With this, it's kind of like, either they can, the cliffhanger thing that I was talking about in the negatives, either they could go for a spin-off, or they could just leave it, and you still would be satisfied. Like, it's a very, very small thing that maybe only I, as a reviewer, would kind of notice and think of, and maybe that's just me being me. But yeah, I can't complain about anything. Everything in this show is excellent. There is nothing to complain of. So when it comes to rating, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. I can't complain. Like, there's nothing to complain about. And because of that, when you get series that are like that, you know you've done a good job as a creator, as a producer and stuff, when you are getting these hit-on shows. But, yeah. So, guys, for watching. Don't forget... What the heck is that? What is that noise? What the hell is that thing? What is scratching? What the hell? Oh!